Hello everyone, welcome to Power Automate tutorial with Level Up Tech. So in the last video we have seen how to create the list and how to add a new item into the list and how to clear the list and all we have seen in the last video. In this video we are going to see about these list of actions that we have in the Power Automate desktop. The first one is remove duplicate item from list, reverse the list, shuffle list, merge list and subtract list. In this, the very first action which we are going to focus on is remove duplicate item from list. Okay, let's consider you have a one list that we have created in the last session itself. Like we have created one list, right? So in that list, if we have some duplicates, then that particular duplicates has to be removed. Okay, so if that's the scenario, how we can do it? So in order to do that, we have the activity or action called remove duplicate item from list. So now we are going to see about that particular activities usage. Okay, so here we have the list which is already created. The list name is nothing but CSE student name list. In that particular list we have added few items, and here you can see Akash, Somesh, and here we have one more Somesh. What I will do is just I will change in between word into some uppercase. Okay, now if you see here we have three occurrences, but only the case, it is case sensitive, right? So here we have Somesh, that is S in the caps, and here we have everything in the lower case, and here we have M in the caps. But apart from that case thing, the word is same only, right? So now if we have a duplicate value in our list, right, then we should be removing that. If that's the scenario, then in that particular case, like, we will be using remove duplicate item from list. Okay, and here we have some more names added to the same list. And before getting started with remove duplicate item from list, let me run it and then just show to you like how the list is getting stored, how the values are getting stored in the list. Now you can see here we have the first value Akash, Somesh. So basically we have three occurrences of Somesh and then Naveen, Praveen, that's it. Okay, so now I'm going to use remove duplicate item from list. I'm going to use just after the display message activity. So here it is asking which, from which list you want to remove the duplicates from. Okay, now I'm going to give my list name, that is CSE student name list. And here you have one more property, that is ignore text case while searching for duplicate items. In the description itself I have mentioned remove duplicate items from the list. Basically this action deletes all the duplicate items from the list irrespective of the case. When I say irrespective of the case, if it is in uppercase or if it is in lower case, right, it is not going to consider. When we enable this option, even though if we have like Somesh and everything in the lower case, and in one occurrences we have only the first letter, that is S in the caps, right, irrespective of that, if the word is going to get matched, right, then it will delete the other two occurrences except the first occurrences. It will not delete the first occurrence, it will remove the next occurrences, basically second, third and other occurrences. Okay, only when it will remove those things, only if we enable this particular option, it will act as case insensitive. If we are not enabling this particular option, it will act as a case sensitive option. Okay, now I will save it and then let me add one more display message just to show the result, what we are going to get after removing the duplicate items from the list. Now our expectation is basically it should remove the other two occurrences of Somesh. Only one occurrence of Somesh should be present in the final result. Now let's run it and then let's validate that. This is the first thing, first display message which we have. And then now you can see we have only four names, but initially in this message box we had all the values, that is other occurrences of Somesh as well, right? But now we don't have that. Why? Because it has, by using this remove duplicate item activity, in that we have enabled that case insensitive option. Because of that particular reason, it has deleted the other two occurrences of Somesh except the first occurrence. Okay, now let's come to the next activity, that is reverse list. Okay, now we have one list which is already been created. Okay, suppose if you want to reverse that particular list, you want to reverse that order from last to first, right? Then in that case we will be using reverse list action. Okay, instead of this remove duplicate items from list, now I am going to drag the reverse list activity over here. And which list, here it is expecting only one thing, that is which list we want to reverse it. Okay, so now I'm going to provide this is the list that I want to reverse, so I have given this particular thing. Once we run it now, see the first thing. So now we have Akash, Shomesh, Naveen and Praveen in this particular order, right? After doing reversal, our expectation is like it should come as Praveen, Naveen, that is from the bottom to top it should come as a output. Let's see whether it is meeting our requirement or not. As you can see, here we have Praveen, Naveen, and basically it is giving the order from bottom to top, right, as a from the original list. So this is what reverse list does. Okay, and the third activity is shuffle list. What this, the meaning of shuffle is just in a random order, right? So in the cards we will play cards, right? So in that cards, like we will be doing the shuffle just to order the cards in some randomized order, right? Likewise here also we have the list. So if we want to shuffle randomize the order of the list, right, then in that case we will be using the shuffle list action. Okay, now instead of reverse list activity, I'm going to place shuffle list over here, and again here also it is also expecting only one thing, and the definition you can see, create a random permutation of a list. Okay, and here it is also expecting only one thing, that is the list name. I have given the list name now and I'm saving it. Let me run it for the first time. Just notice the order of the final display message. Ignore this display message, just focus on this display message activity. Okay, so now we have Shomesh first, that is, but the initial order of the list is something else, right? Like Akash we had it first, and then Somesh followed by other Somesh, and then Naveen and Praveen. Okay, now let me run it one more time and then just notice the order now what we are getting. Last time we got Somesh in the first occurrence, but this time we are getting Praveen, Akash, Somesh, Naveen, Somesh. So basically here we are, each and every time when we are running our bot, it is coming in a randomized order. Okay, when you want the list in a randomized order, right, then at the time you can use this shuffle list activity. Okay, and then the fourth activity is merge list. What this activity is going to do, in order to demonstrate or practice this particular action, right, then we have to create one more list. Okay, why we have to create one more list? Because merge means combining some two things or multiple things, right? So in that case you should be having two lists at least. Okay, then only this particular activity will do its functionality. What this activity is going to do, it will merges the two lists in a single list. Okay, here I have given the sample input and the sample output will look like this. I want to merge this first list with the second list, then our output will look like whatever we have in the first list, that will come in the first place, and then whatever we have in our second list, that will come in the second. Okay, suppose if you want to merge the list 2 with list 1, right, then in that case you would be getting Roshan, Vijay first, and then Akash, Somesh, Naveen, Praveen, followed by Roshan and Vijay. Okay, so now let's demonstrate the same with the help of Power Automate Desktop. Okay, now I'll delete this shuffle list activity, and what I am going to do is I am going to create one more list. Let me create one more list over here, and I will name the list as IT students name list. Okay, So here I have given my new list name as IT student name list. In this particular IT student name list, I am going to add those three items which I have mentioned in the notepad file. Let me add one more item. So whatever name which I have mentioned here, those two names I am going to add it over here. Okay, one is Roshan, where we need to add, not in the CSE student name list, it should be in IT student name list. The next one is I'm going to add the name as Vijay, and again this has to be in the IT student name list, not in the CSE student name list, right? Now these things are done. Now we have two lists with our hand. What we have to do now, we have to merge these two lists into a single list, right? So for that I am dragging merge list action, and here it is, you can see the description, merge two lists into one. Basically it is going to merge whatever list that you have, right? Two lists, it is going to merge into a single list, and you can see it is asking the first list. Okay, so I'm going to provide CSE student name list, and the second list name is IT student name list. Now I am trying to merge this CSE student name list with IT student name list, so the output will come as whatever we have in CSE student name list, that will come first, and then followed by IT student name list. And here you can see it is producing one output, that is output list. Okay, so this particular output list variable will have the CSE student name list along with IT student name list values. Now here I'm going to, instead of displaying the CSE student name list at the final thing, I'm going to display output list. That is it. The merge activity has produced one output, right? Output list, that I am displaying it over here. Okay, so now I will delete this display message. Just let me save this particular file and then let me run it. I have triggered the bot now, and as you can see, we have Akash, Shomesh till Praveen. It was stored in the first list, and whatever value that we had in our second list that we have created just now, right? The second list, IT student name list, whatever value which we had in the second list, that is also being shown to us. Suppose, let's say you want to show this IT student name list first and then followed by CSE student name list. What you can do, just you have to give, in the first list you have to give the value as IT student name list. So whatever value that we are having in IT student name list, that will get merged with CSE student name list. Okay, let me run it one more time, and now you can see the result. Whatever we had in the list 2, that is being shown first, followed by the CSE student name list. Okay, so this is what merge list 2 will do. Basically it will going to merge two lists into a single list. And then final activity or action is subtract list. What this subtract list action is going to do, see here we have two things. Okay, so here I have given you the sample list input. Okay, so again here, in order to use the subtract list activity also, we should be having two lists, and the reason behind it is, like, it is going to compare two lists. Okay, in two lists, whatever common thing which we are going to have, right? Here if you closely observe, in the list 1 we have value as Akash, and in list 2 also we have the value as Akash. Okay, if your requirement is to delete the common item from both the list and have the other values only, right, then in that case you can use subtract list activity, and you can see the description of this particular action: removes common item from the first list, okay, and returns the remaining value from the first list only. So basically it is going to remove the common item, it is going to compare the first list with the second list, and whatever common value which we do have in the first list, that it will get removed, and only the remaining items from the first list only will be shown. the items or the values which we have in the list 2, that will be not shown to us. Okay, so it is just going to compare list 1 with list 2, and the list 2 has the same value whatever we have in list 1. From the list 1, the same value, the common value will be removed, and only the other values from the list 1 will be shown to us. Okay, so just to demonstrate that, I'll be going to add one more value in the IT student list. Okay, so here I will add the value as Akash, and we know we have the value Akash in list 1 also, that is in CSE student name list also, right? I will delete this merge list activity. Instead of merge list activity, this time we are seeing the example for subtract list, right? So now I'm going to drag the subtract list activity over here, and you can see the description: compass to list and create a new list with the items that are in the first list but not in the second. Okay, so now here I'm going to mention my first list, that is CSE student name list, and the second list is nothing but IT student name list, and it is producing one output, that is list difference, right? And I'm going to click on save. In the display message we are getting an error because the output list, it was produced by merged result list activity, right? But now we don't have that, that's the reason it is giving the error. Now I will give the list difference. So where it is coming from? It is coming from the subtract list activity. Okay, so now when we run our bot, we should be getting only the values Somesh, 3 occurrences of Somesh, Naveen and Praveen. Why not Akash? Because this Akash is available in list 1 and list 2. In both the list it is available, so it will just remove that particular item from the list 1, and all the other items from the list 1 will be shown to us. Okay, so now I'm running the bot. You would be able to see only we have the items from the list 1 and except the value Akash. Okay, just to make it more clear, this time I will be swapping the list name. Here I am giving IT student name list, and in the second list I am going to give CSE student name list. So now what we will get as a output, basically here the Akash value will be removed, because this time we have given IT student name list in the first place, right? So the Akash value will be removed from list 1, and the other value, that is Roshan and Vijay, will be displayed to us. Okay, so that is our expectation. Now let's see. And you can see we are getting only Roshan and Vijay and not the other values. Okay, so this is what subtract list activity will do. Now I hope we are more clear on this list of actions that we have discussed for today. So that's all guys for today's video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more upcoming videos. Thank you so much. Bye bye.